What's up, everyone? Coach Danny here, and today we're going to review a couple of exercises and drills that you can use to improve your butterfly guard. Now keep in mind that these are only drills in order to enhance the skill set of your butterfly guard, or sometimes as we like to refer it as the hook guard. Now as you can see here in the video, all I'm doing is rolling forward, placing my hand on the opponent's shoulder, and also making sure that my hips are grounded to the mat with one knee up to frame. So as you rock forward into the sitting guard, make sure that you post your rear hand on the mat to improve stability, and also frame with your lead hand, sorry about that. So now, in the next exercise, you'll also notice every time I rock forward, I want to make sure that my knee is always parallel to my opponent. Okay, so in this case I'm demonstrating here, this would be a too narrow stance, so I want to widen my base with my knees towards the outside and my elbows are going to be on the inside. Very quickly, here's another small drill that we like to use. Very simple, but this is something that's very common, right? Someone gets a hold of your lapel, gets a good grip, they're trying to pass your guard. Immediately we want to seize the wrist and remove the grip from our collars. Same stuff as we do when we're standing. But now grip. Notice the grip here, firm grip. The second hand goes right atop and we rip the grip off our jacket, right? Notice I'm also controlling the wrist until the end, right? So once more, slowly I'm grabbing the wrist, double grip, rip the grip off my jacket, and then redirect the hand towards the opponent's body, right? I don't want the person to grip me a second time, which will be much harder to break. Now in this case here, Julie's actually grabbing my pants in order to set up a guard pass. Now I'm noticing, just for showcasing the technique, I'm showing the wrong way of trying to break the grips. This is actually the proper way. So if you go towards the inside, my own legs are blocking the hands. So now I'm going to go towards the outside and pull up, which will substantially just break a hold of the grip on the pants. Now in this case here, I'm going 2-on-1. Notice the 2-on-1 is always wrist control first. Second hand goes just atop, and then we just pull the grip right off the pants. That's if you want to take care of just one-handed grips, right? So in here we just redirect the hand towards the outside. Now in this next scenario, all I'm doing is going to be setting up underhook. So I get underhooked, and this is what we refer to as the arm drag. So notice I get wrist control, underhooking with the far side arm, under the tricep, and pulling the arm forward. Once again, slowly grabbing the wrist and pulling forward to do the arm drag. Now it's very important, as you notice, same side wrist control, right? So same side and then opposite side arm drag, right? Always keep the shoulder towards your chest. Now same side, I'm just demonstrating here for the video. Wrong grip right here. See, the hand is going to collapse onto your own body if you try the same side or opposite side grip, right? So proper grips, once again, same side on the wrist, latch on tightly with the thumb, and then once you have the wrist control, we're going to underhook. See, this would be the wrong grip. Now this is the correct grip, and then underhooking by swimming our palm underneath the tricep and cupping and making sure we maintain a good posture every time, right? So grabbing once and pull. And we can do this as a drill just to do reps. We do this often just to do a drill like this, 1, and there's a second repetition, 2, and you don't have to go too fast, but it's a purpose of coordination. This is what we want to work on for improving our jiu-jitsu arm drags from the open or butterfly guard. So once again, keep in mind, these are only drills. Here I'm speeding things up just to showcase once you get used to it. Now, in this scenario, I'm actually breaking the grip first. So as you'll notice, grabbing the collar, grip break, and then from there, once we get rid of the grip, we're actually going to flow right into the arm drag. So get rid of the collar grip, underhooking, as well as the arm drag. So these are just coordination drills once again. Get rid of that grip, keep control of the wrist, underhooking, and pulling the arm towards the opposite side. Underneath your arm, by the way, as well, right? So do these as reps. Grip break into arm drag. 1 and 2, right? So notice, take your time with all these exercises. These will improve your sensitivity for each of the moves, as well as your reaction time slowly. Reaction time, by the way, is not necessarily something where you're going to be just sluggishly going too quickly through the jiu-jitsu movements. We have to do a lot of reps, technical reps that is, very slowly in order to get comfortable, and then, only then do we add speed, right? So in this case here, I'm going for the grip break from the pants grip, and once again flowing right into an arm drag. Now notice the other grip is still there. So we'll grip and 2-on-1 into the grip break. Once it's disconnected from the grip of the pants, that's when I connect the arm drag, right? So I'm just showing here where you'd want to control if you want to just maintain the control. Once again, you're going to be moving a lot more with your hips and feet. These are just exercises. I'm repeating myself, but I don't want people to watch this video and just think, well, you know, you can't sweep from a static position, and nor do I want to. These are just coordination stuff where we want to do a lot of repetitions, do as many sets as you want in order to get comfortable with the exercise. These are entries that will set up a lot of these submission attacks as well as guard sweeps. Now notice here I'm speeding things up and right into the arm drag once again. Couple more reps. Now here all I'm doing is just showcasing the proper positioning of the hook guard. So you'll notice once again my arm is at the same level as the shoulder. I'm just showing here that we don't want a full extension of the arm, just a comfortable bend at the elbow in order to prevent maybe like a flying or a jumping arm bar. If someone was standing in front of you, in this case they're kneeling, but just for proper practice we're going to position ourselves properly. So here I'm just rocking left to right, and just we use this as a warm-up as well. Now, very important, if you want to get closer into the butterfly guard, you need to ensure that your hand is posted on the mat. Here I'm showing the wrong way and most common mistakes, people going too far out or too near. Okay, this is the proper positioning. Now, one more mistake sometimes that we'll often see is once we get closer and we're getting ready to fight the underhook, we'll have the opponent just smash our knees together and they'll pass our guard, take our back. So once we establish position, it's very important to have a strong foot or a heavy feet on a heavy foot, I should say, on the mat, and having your knee parallel to your opponent's hip, crossing the same path as their shoulder. So this is just a warm-up where you'll be going left to right. Now, right here is when you do want to connect in order to get closer to your opponent, to maybe pummel your hand inside as I'm showing here, and maybe underhooking the far side to set up a sweep. So in this case I'm just using my palm. If it was a no-gi situation, maybe you want to go deeper to the shoulder, or with the gi we're definitely going to be ensuring to grab the belt at the waist to have a better control. So I'm rocking, I'll showcase it on the opposite side or once again on the same side in this video clip, but framing, swimming my hand inside, connecting to the shoulder, or going deeper at the waistline and making sure I have a strong and firm grip at the waist area by grabbing the belt. This way here I can pull the opponent's weight towards my posted leg, and that way there I'm ready to set up a butterfly sweep. On the opposite side now, underhooking, make sure that you post your head on the opposite side of your underhook. That's another common mistake that we'll sometimes see. And then post your hand for stability before you set up the angle for your sweep. Make sure you're close enough as well when you set up your sweep. Sometimes we see people hips are far out, and it's very difficult to get leverage in order to set up your hooking sweeps. to destabilize your opponent, especially if they're kneeling with both knees. Lots of weight is on those knees on the mats. Right now my partner is just being static, but in reality people are going to be dynamic and moving, trying to pass your guard in that position. Now here I'm going back to the 2-on-1, going back to the front wrist control, getting an underhook, but this time as a different drill, we'll post our leg on the outside of their knee and drag the arm to have them post onto the mat. Now we get in a little bit deeper, controlling the far side of the hip, posting my leg, and then just resetting the position. Grabbing your wrist control, underhooking the far side arm, posting, and doing your arm drag. I'm going very gentle here because my training partner is Julie, my wife. I outweigh her by lots of pounds, so I'm just going very slow and gentle just to showcase the techniques on the video. But here I'm also detailing that you can also grab the pants on the far side hip to get a good control. You can go overhooking at the shoulder level, grabbing, or just cupping on the shoulder. And then another option is just hugging at the waist. Notice here I'm leaning onto the body. So here, notice I also have my left foot posting, so my left knee, or in this case now it's going to be my right knee, that will come up. And the reason we do this is to prevent the opponent from jumping right over, jumping their legs across your hips to gain side control. That could be a very sneaky move, and by shifting your hips and keeping your body against them, that prevents that counter. Just doing a couple more reps here for the footage. We sometimes drop our knee as we're hugging to try to climb to take the back. Taking the back consists of either dragging the opponent into your back control or jumping over their back to gain advantage by putting hooks to get the back control. So in this case, it's just a setup. Do these for as many reps as you can in order to feel comfortable, and once you are, add the speed. It's very important to go slow once again in order to really feel the movements. And now here I'm going for the wrist control once again. When I post out, enter into the arm drag slowly. Now I'm able to get a little bit deeper with the arm drag, and here I'm just going to start setting up, catching the near side leg to set up a single leg, or just driving my hips forward to collapse the person onto their back and gain side control. So I'll do this on the opposite side, or sorry, same side I should say now. One is the arm drag, catch the leg, and now start driving up with your hips to lift the person's weight off the mat and collapse their hips in this direction. Now here all I'm doing is a little bit of hand fighting. Once again, the opponent will try to grab your collar and will try to stop you. Here I'm just showing that if you have a bend in the elbow, once again here, the opponent's going to be strong enough to reach your collar. Now notice when I grab the wrist, there's a full extension of my arm. So grab the wrist and then push their grip away towards the middle. Notice towards the bottom side. It's much harder to force upwards than it is for me to force downwards. I'm doing the same exercise right now by catching two grips, double grips, or one-on-one. Just when the opponent might try to grab your collar and you block, they might try to grab the opposite collar. Now I'm just having a little bit of fun and just showing an example here of a submission hold, in this case an armbar, that you might want to use from the butterfly guard once you catch wrist control. Now, in this case here, I'm just showing from a proper closed guard position how you would pummel your knees into the butterfly, or sometimes referred to as the spider guard, the beginning of a spider guard with your hooks, and then getting the butterfly guard position. So one more time, we have the closed guard position, grabbing the sleeves, shrimping your hips out by posting your leg, swimming your knee inside, and doing the same on the opposite side. Once you gain a position, from here, post your foot on the mat, move your hips, underhook the far side, and then you have the butterfly hook guard position. Once again, here I'm just referring to the belt as a good grip. If the belt is unattached to the gi, we'll have a solid grip onto the back of the jacket. Notice here I'm making a nice line to have a firm grip. You need to feel this type of grip to understand the tightness. I'm just going to show this on a different angle so you guys can see. We have sleeve grips, pummeling our knee on the inside. I'm going very slow to show that we want to swim both knees on the inside and then open up. From this position, we'll just release one of our feet from the hip, post it on the mat between our legs, move your hips out, and from here, pummel your hand on the underhook and post for stability. If you want to get rid of the arm that's posted on the mat to set up some sweeps, you can punch the arm out and then bring the elbow inside. Now, in this case, this is another common situation, and we like to drill this move, is where the opponent will go double underhooks, they'll go gung-ho on you and just smash you and put your back to the mat. Now, you noticed I kick their legs out, put their knees back on the mat, and then I'll double overhook their arms and then regain my butterfly guard position. So I'll show this one more time. Julie goes double pummel, so double underhooks, tries to put me flat on my back. Notice the hooks lift by raising their hips off the mat, and knees I should say, going double overs, wrist control, and then recover my butterfly guard. In this case, someone might go only on one side, underhooking. So now you're left with the opposite side being overhooked, which is not the proper position to set up some sweeps, but the main thing I'm showing here is to control the arm on the near side. As you're controlling, you're going to pummel by doing a whizzer over their arm and latching onto their collar. Okay, I'll show this one more time. They get single under, control the near side arm, the one that you're seeing here. I'm controlling the wrist away to prevent them to grab my knee and pass my guard on this side. Now I take a second to grab their lapel and continue controlling the wrist, and I would be able to dip down onto my shoulder and set up some sweeps. Here I'm just showing the grips. It's very important you have a firm grip at the level of the shoulder. If you go anything lower, your opponent might just grab your lapel or over your grip, right? It's very weak. I have no control. By control a bit higher, if they want to control, I have my free hand to remove the grip, prevent their grip, or even solidify my grip and break their posture. Small detail, but I believe that grips make the hugest of difference in jiu-jitsu, especially with the gi. No gi as well, as a matter of fact, but in this case, it's very important to have strong collar grips. Now, as I'm showing this next drill here, wrist control into arm drag, posting on the outside, I'm going to show that as an option, you can also climb onto the back. Once again, I outweigh Julie by lots of pounds, so I'm not going to fully get the back control on top of her. Just showing some of the options that you'd be able to take. But in reality, really latch onto those hooks. Now here, when you do your arm drag and you take the back control, you can use this as a drill and do many repetitions with your partner. So you're going to go one on the left, one onto the right. And just do lots of reps and eventually add a lot of speed to this to get the instinctive action of getting to the opponent's back to submit or even gain an advantage with 4 points for tournaments. Okay. Now in this next drill, I'm going to be using the arm drag, but also you'll notice I'm posting my foot on the opponent's hip. So we're into the butterfly position, arm drag, and on the opposite side I'll post my foot onto their hip. Once again, here, this time my opponent's trying to pass over my leg and I'll rip the grip off Xing their arms, showing an example of a sweeping position that we could use here, gaining the mount, stabilizing, and just slowly showing that we can have wrist control from here as well. Now, I want to thank everyone for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you have any questions or comments, suggestions for future videos, hit us up in the comments section below. I'd be happy to post more videos about different positions or techniques, whether it's for Jiu-Jitsu, No-Gi, as well as even Muay Thai. I don't mind doing these videos. They're actually very enjoyable, and I hope that these could benefit your Jiu-Jitsu game and improve your butterfly guard skills. So until the next video, keep training hard. We'll see you in the next one. Oos!